Well, at this time, I feel like I'm at church at this time. Um, we'll turn over to Mother Kyrie.
Please stand.
Stand for the reading of the hearing of the holy word. Rose City style.
All right, let's see. Our first question says, the fact that Mike started off his email demanding an apology told me he was choosing violence. What were your thoughts? Oh yeah, choosing. So that just seems to be his MO. I think he has a fetish for it because I mean, at this point, what woman is coming running? So it must turn you on to get turned down. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it. I think it, like I said before, it's his mama boy that it's just in him. You know, he doesn't see anything wrong because nobody's ever told him it was wrong. Nobody told him he had to act better and do better. And let alone not, let's just think about all the other men in Rose City that are the same kind of animal. You know, so even though they might see Mike acting this way, they're not saying anything like, "Hey, bro, you gotta chill." Like, whoa, you know, because they are co-signing on his BS. So yeah, I was really done. Right when he asked for that apology, I was really done with the whole email. Like I would have delete, okay, go about my way. So that's my thoughts.
Read the question. It says the fact that Mike started off the email demand apology. Yeah, he was choosing violence. What were my thoughts? It basically was the audacity of you. The audacity of you to have cussed this woman out. And the thing was, Mike, he didn't even know about what Chris had done. He didn't know anything about her day, how bad it had been. He accused her of Chan having him beat up. Like he thought that she was like, yeah, when she was sending them boys over there and handle my ex, right? That's not even what happened. Malia doesn't know anything about Mike being assaulted. So in his mind, Malia and Chan was wrapped up in a sheet, drinking champagne and eating some type of hors d'oeuvres while they are cheering the fact that Mike got worked and his face got dunked in some soup. Like she has no idea, and he should know her better than that to know like that's an Erica move to set somebody up and then watch them be being within an inch of their life and laugh about it. Malia would be horrified to know that Chan had the capacity to do somebody like that because if Malia's smart, baby, if he sent people to go and handle Mike, well, he sent people to my house when I get out of order. You have to think like that. Okay. Me and Chan ain't working out this week. I said we're gonna be together. So do I need to send, what I'm saying, Lee and Tail back over to the house, whatever? Get in the car. He want to talk to you. Get in the car, Malia. You know what I'm saying? Got their fingers pointed in my face. So we have to be very careful here. Okay. And if he pulling a Rambo on everybody else, baby, what's to say that this man can't pull a Rambo on you, right? So yeah, for me it was the audacity, but he didn't know. And I think that that really goes back to you be careful when you call people up and you just start pounding in on them because you don't know what their day looks like. He had no clue Malia is being terrorized by this villain named Chris who just can't get it through his head, baby. Like Malia don't want you. You were a barista. You made great Seattle's best coffee. Why you can't let it go? Y'all shared a coffee exchange. Here, Malia, here's your coffee. Thank you. Your hands might have slightly touched as the coffee was passed or whatever. Like just let it go. Okay. It's over. It was the audacity for me. To think that you can win somebody over by first. It was like I remember being in English 101 and Mr. Blakely, who was my teacher, he talked about writing papers and like a sandwich effect. It's the bread, the meat of really what you want to say, and then add some bread to like close it out. So you can start off with a positive, have a little negative in the middle, like your real argument, and then end it out to be kind of like neutral or like positive. Like you don't want to just. He just started off like it was kind of funky, and then it was like, where is this leading to? And then it was just like downhill from there, and he didn't do the sandwich. He just after he put it wasn't even really bread. He put breadcrumbs on top. You know how when people try to make macaroni and cheese and they like what is that about? Like how are you gonna make macaroni and cheese and put Ritz crackers on top? Who y'all that was Southern cuisine. Who said that? Like who said that? Don't do it. Somebody tells me, I'm making the macaroni and cheese for Thanksgiving, and I show up to your house. Beyonce said hot sauce in my bag swag. I'll be bringing my own macaroni and cheese in my bag, okay, in my old Tupperware. Don't worry, Emily. I got it handled right here. My own macaroni and cheese. So, yeah, it was audacity. He didn't know what she had been through. He didn't care what she went through. He tore into her. It was audacity. He's really upset. Why won't Malia just come back? Like, why won't she just have Big Daddy? Like, why won't you just take this man back? Stroke his ego, validate the fact that he can have any woman he wants. This is what it all comes down to. Mike has women on back burners, on shelves. He's got them on desks. He's got everybody wherever they need to be at. And he can just go to Target like he's on an aisle and pick out this on aisle 2 and then on aisle 4. I want to have a little bit of that. So his ego is bruised that somebody else could be attractive and have some type of substance about themselves. And he's like, I'm still the big dog. But you're not. You're not. And he's mad about it. So yeah, it was audacity. And I liked it. I liked it because I liked the fact that Malia had to get with the program, you know? Next question is yours, Alicia.
Right. Right. Gotta pray. Mm. When Mike called his marriage falling apart a blessing for him and Malia to get back together, I nearly fell out of my chair. How could not to bring God into this? There's nothing godly about this cheater who ruined his marriage, and we all know that. It ain't no God, it's the devil working through him and all his personal demons. Is what's going. But yeah, it's a blessing. If anything, I think we talked about that last night. I'm like, it's a curse, but a blessing woman he was going to marry. That's what a blessing is for. So yeah, there's nothing. He got demons. I don't know how he's gonna bring God into it, but that goes back into the the mama boy. I get what I want. Everything is to me on a platter. That he could fix his mouth to do that. It's like that. Like he never is responsible for anything he does or nothing. He's the golden boy, Mr. ADA. So it's the audacity. It's the audacity.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And what is it about guys that want to throw God into it after they cut up for years? You've been asking them, you've been communicating, you've been staying calm, you've been breathing through these moments. And then when you get angry and you're ready to leave and say, all right, I'm done. Obviously, this is what you want to do. You got it. You got it. I got to go because this isn't working out for me. And then, oh, but God, but we're supposed to be together. I remember I had someone tell me that I wasn't going to make it to heaven if I didn't stay married to him because I was the only reason he was going to get in the door because I was such a good Christian girl. And I'm like, what? You really believe that? And then I had someone else tell me that I was going to go to hell if I didn't stay with him, and I was just like, the things that people let come out of their mouths to keep somebody in bondage to them, but yet they don't want to act right to make that person want to stay. Make it make sense. So, this is just another one of Mike's tactics, trying to, let me God card, toxic men, toxic tactics, trash.
I totally agree. That part to me to say, this is a God thing. God brought us back together. God didn't bring this together. You messed up. You cheated on your wife. She found out about it and gave you the boot, and you ran out of Northern California back to your mama's bosom to be Prince Michael of Rose City. Like, stop playing these games, acting like, no, because I mean, this was God. Yeah, I was pretty much done too. It's like, how you gonna fix your mouth and bring God into this? But a lot of people do. A lot of people bring God into their mess, and I can totally relate with what Kyrie is saying. I had somebody who did me dirty. I did a couple people, male and female, in terms of like friends and then relationships, do me dirty, and then they want to use the God card. Well, didn't the Bible say something about you forgiving people? It didn't tell me nothing about being no fool. That's like, let's keep it all the way 100. Let's clear this up. God ain't told me nothing about I gotta play boo boo the fool. I have to be walked on, baby. I said walked on, walk on that face. Like God didn't tell me I had to be stomped on. He didn't say that. And so I did. I had a guy who was like, hey, oh, he called me. He was real amped. Actually, I'm not even gonna go into the whole thing, but he was real amped. He was like, I just came back from a meeting with my priest. I was like, what do you mean a priest? Like, you don't even go to church. And he was like, nope. I spoke to my priest today and I told him about what you did to me. And I was like, what I did to you? And he was like, yeah. And he said that if you don't come back to me, you're going to hell. You're going to hell, Karina. And he started screaming that, yeah, I couldn't even get a word in. He kept screaming, "You're going to hell! You're going to hell!" And I'm like, "Can you let me talk for a second?" He's like, "Okay, but you're going to hell. I just want to tell you that right now. The priest said, if you don't forgive me, you're going to hell." And then he told me, the priest said that the way that I know that you have forgiven me for what I've done to you is you coming back to me. If you don't come back to me, you're going to hell. And he just kept screaming that I was going to go to hell. And I was like, well, I'm fine with going to hell then. He's like, you're going to burn in hell? I said, when did you become so religious? Like, you're one of the biggest sinners out here in these streets. And now all of a sudden you're so religious and talking about you went to your priest. I doubt it. He was like, and I want you to start coming to church with me. And I just want us to start, getting our spirituality on track. And I was like, no, we're not going to church with you. Like, so yeah, I was told I was going to go to hell, and he just kept screaming. And I feel like he was screaming it because he was like, I gotta drill this into her head. I gotta make her know that her soul is in jeopardy of being set on fire. Baby, that whole body yaddy, it's gonna be in the lake of fire. Okay, it's gonna be in that lake. So I'm just like, I'll be fine. Like me and God, we good, but I'm definitely not coming back. But yeah, I don't like it when people try to use God. As some kind of smoke and mirrors. You know you did people dirty. You don't want to own up to it or fess up to it. Oh, and I've been talking to God a lot lately, and He's really been convicting me. And I just want to be a better man for my family. I want to be a better man for you. I just want to do, but no, you don't. But you don't. But you don't. So I say for male and female, run. Run away from anybody who tries to gaslight you using God and religion, the spirituality. All this happened for a reason. I mean, I did all this horrible. I mean, I did everything except for hit you with my car, right? And run over you 15 times back and forth. I did all this to you to make us stronger. Now we have a testimony. I don't want that testimony. You know what I mean? Like it's not the place that you think that it is. Like we've been together 50 years. This man put me through it. I've heard him, and I'll be like, Grandma, don't tell that story. Not my grandmother, because she would never. Betty Dormant would never. Okay, I'm done. She would never. I'm going to go on to the next question. It says, how the hell did Mike find out about Malia's financial problems? Question mark. Who else knows about her money issues? When he told her she had no business trying to run a business, it felt like he was saying her place was to be a wife and nothing more. What were your thoughts? I do believe that when Mike let her know that she was no type of businesswoman, he was ultimately telling her, your job is to be barefoot and pregnant. And my daddy, he used to tell me a woman's place is in the kitchen. I grew up with such a misogynistic father, very misogynistic. He would tell me, your job as a woman is to stay pregnant, barefoot in the kitchen. I'm like, why do I not have shoes on? Are you afraid I'm running? You know what I'm saying? Not him, but I guess just that idea of women being pregnant and barefoot. I don't know, whatever, right? So I feel like that was what Mike was trying to explain to Malia, because I do feel like when women own businesses or are educated, have good paying jobs, can take care of themselves, it's not so much of like, I gotta depend on Earl. I really need his pension. Really need that Social Security that he bringing in. I really need, these type of things where sometimes you will stay in bad situations because you don't have any other options, right? But when you are independent, you're able to take care of yourself. You don't have to depend on somebody else. So I'll look past a few things because, he acts up, he gets drunk. He might want to push me a little bit, but he knocked my boss back up. But at least he pays his part of the bills, or he fixes things around the house. Like, people can rationalize things, but when you have enough money to pay for a handyman and for car services, if your car breaks down, or just pay your own way, then the things that you might have, or the things that women in our past might have put up with, they're like, I'm not putting up with that. If you come in here acting like that, you get in the boot and I can still pay these bills without you. Mike is, I think he's intimidated by Malia's independence. I do. And people are like, you're intimidated. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Because you can't just, you know, dangle your black card in my face and what I'm saying, because without me, how you gonna pay the mortgage on this place? How are you gonna pay for that car you dropped? So it's basically like pipe down a little bit, right? Mike is angry at the fact that Malia hasn't needed him, so he's telling her, baby, you can get rid of this little funky business. That was never your calling. He was also telling her, you're not smart enough to be a business owner. It was very degrading. It was like, you're not smart enough to do this. What were you thinking? Of course you would fail. Like, you're a failure at everything else. Just hop in my bed. Like, that's what you need to do. Don't worry about nothing else. Just please, Big Daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just worry about taking care of me. Make sure my clothes is pressed. Make sure I have my sandwich. Okay? Make sure it's got that good thin sliced cheese and the turkey that's smoked. Kyrie know what I'm talking about. All right.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think you touched on something really important. Men that act like that, they're operating in fear. Because if a woman is independent and she has her own, you really don't have anything to bring to the table but that little funky job and that little funky check. So you can't carry a conversation. You know what I'm saying? You can't have fun with her. You don't know how to So it's like when they can't provide, they feel like they can't provide for you because you have your own, they're intimidated because they're like, well, what else do I have to pull her with? I'm sorry, up your communication skills. You should be somewhere because you are wanted, not needed, and that's the issue. Learn how to have fun again, learn how to go for a walk and enjoy each other's company. Just because, we still want you to put money on that bill, yes, of course, but we're here to help too. You don't have to do it alone anymore, and I men should be grateful they don't have to do it and alone, and all that burden that they've carried for all these years. Now we have shown we can help too. We can be better partners. Not that we weren't before, but we can offer more, to the family system, all the stuff that's going on in the world. So, I do feel like men that think that a woman's place is only at home in the kitchen and bearing the children, it's a fearful mindset because he has nothing else to offer besides that, that financial component. So, and
He has
that's
to offer her
where
that hammer.
yeah, right. And some of them can barely do that. So, but I see this a lot, in Mike. He thinks all this loud masculinity is showing how manly he is, but I'm like, you're just showing this little fearful little boy that you are. So that's why Malia doesn't want you.
Yeah, it felt like he was saying her place was to be a wife and nothing more. He can't, process the fact that she don't really need him and don't want him. So yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to leave that. My network is acting up again. I'm so sorry, you two. It is. I can't hear myself. Cut that part out. But
Honey, it goes down with these computers, so you're okay. What were you going to say, Kyrie?
How in some computer systems you can put in a name and you can put a flag on it. So anytime it pops up, that name pops up in the system, you'll get notified. Because I was just like, that's probably Mike probably has Malia's name in the system. So he's the ADA. So anything that pops up, Malia Williams, he gets notified immediately. So, outside of, Mama's mouth and Erica's mouth, he probably he probably has that ding. Oh, she has a case going on. What's going on? So he knows all about everything.
I definitely agree that I think that Mike has Malia's name flagged in the system. I think if Malia gets a ticket for speeding or even a parking violation for, maybe the meter time ran out, he would know because of his power of being ADA. He has those resources. And, you know, you could just go ahead and go to the whatever county courthouse website and type in somebody's information, and whatever they've done, it all pops up. And you may not get like the full detail, but baby, it'll tell you about any domestic violence, it'll tell you about any DVs. Yeah, DVs, domestic violence, same thing. I was meant to say drinking while, operating a vehicle, DUIs. It'll tell you about if people have unpaid bills, and if they're being sued. So I feel like maybe he found out about that. But I'm gonna tell you the type of person I think Mike is. He'll have Malia's name flagged for anything that comes up in the system, and then we'll turn around and tell all his homeboys, like, I mean, y'all know she's struggling, right? But it wouldn't have happened, bruh. Because if she would have, a man like me, a man like me in her life, her business wouldn't have felt. Well, first off, I wouldn't have allowed her to have a business. But if I did, I would make it where my mother was really over the business and she would be owning it. And then Malia could show up and answer the phones and fold the clothes and take the money, at the cash register. Who has the next question? That was Kyrie.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Our next question says, I was insulted for Malia when Mike accused her of being a gold digger since she is dating Chan and has his money. Did that statement make you cringe? It did for me. No, it didn't make me. I'm just irritated with everything that's coming out of Mike's mouth. And the only thing that really made me cringe is Malia still reading this doggone email at this point. So I was just like, girl, you don't close this out. Throw the phone. Just stop reading it and go do something else. I was just like, why is she still reading this letter? But yeah, once Audacity. He wears it in his ears. He brushes his teeth with Audacity. He loves Audacity. He washes his bar soap says Audacity on it. I mean, he's got it all over his colognes. Audacity, just all over. I mean, I don't think he can do anything. He eats Audacity steak and potatoes. He drinks Audacity water, baby. Like, I mean, this is Mike, Mr. Audacity. Okay, so I'm just not surprised anymore. I'm so done.
Um, all kind of audacities everywhere. I was insulted too. I was after that, and I'm like, does he even know her? I don't even think when she was with him, she was relying on him and asking him for stuff. I'm like, gold digger. She literally has businesses, even if he sees it as a failure. At least, the first two shops obviously had to be successful for her to be opening up a third. So yeah, and he knows Chan. He's jealous Chan. Yeah, yeah. Um, financially sound decision, but yeah, I'm like he knows her, and he just was trying to get under her skin. That's all. With all this audacity all throughout this letter, he just was trying to get to her. I don't think he really believes that she's like some digger. That was just going along the lines of, let me see how I could, how many insults I could throw in here. Whatever he didn't get to say over the phone to her. So.
Mike said it was round two, baby. That's what he was saying. Kyrie, have you answered yet? Okay. Yeah, Mike was saying it basically was round two. I didn't finish you off when I was on the phone with you because you hung up on me. So now you don't have no choice but to read this email with the rest of what I thought about you. Yeah, it was a lot of Audacity. Like Kyrie said, honey, he woke up and he brushed his teeth on Audacity. He drank Audacity. Hennessy, he drank Audacity. Water, he showered in Audacity. He sat on the toilet. It was Audacity. He put on Audacity shoes. His suit was in Audacity fabric. Everything about him. It was. It was very much. It was cringy to see him accuse her of being some kind of a gold digger when it to me it feels like he likes women who have less than him because he likes to dangle money. I think he's like Antonio. They like women who financially aren't doing that well. Like they're not like destitute or anything, but like you could use a hand up in life, right? And it makes them feel powerful. It makes them feel like, you know what I'm saying? I'm that guy though. I mean, you said you needed, you know what I'm saying, $400 for them brakes or whatever, and I took care of it, didn't I? You know what I'm saying? I cash apped that. So I'm just like, I feel like he feels, like I'm gonna insult her. Because he probably feels like if I was out, giving payments, somebody getting their body rocked tonight. I didn't just cash app that for you. So you gonna have me some dinner made and a little bath ready, like for me, like, cause after I do, give you this money, and now I'm gonna expect king style treatment because of this wonderful act that I gave. Like this is a bartering system. I give, you take, then I get something for it. That's what he's on some bull. So it was cringy for him to believe that Malia would have to be the type of person who has to put out, or and like she's literally like he almost made it seem like she was a predator. Like, oh, you went after this guy. You targeted old Moneybags Chan. You knew he had what you needed and you wanted to basically live the soft life. I don't want to worry about any of my bills. I just want Chan to pay everything for me. And so I think it was insulting because I mean like who are you to talk crazy like that considering this is what you thrive. Like you thrive, you're your best with women who don't have because then that means that you can come in and be strong and be like, I mean, he does stuff, but it's like at the end, if I need him, he always comes through. Like when I needed that rental car for a week and my insurance didn't cover it, he had it. He had it covered. He had it taken care of. So I feel like, yeah, it was a slap in the face. It was cringy of him to tell her that, and I do feel like he was trying to get up underneath her skin, but I also feel like he wanted to get a response. He probably felt like if I just hit her up and I'm nice, even though I don't know if he knows how to be nice. I think he felt like she ain't gonna respond. So let me say something crazy to her. Like, let me really poke her. Let me really get with Smokey the Bear in these streets, right? And